Hello and welcome to part 3 of Into the Light. I can't even remember my own song. It is a bad Tuesday, and if you are in London, you know it is raining and it is horrible, but I am in the hottest room in London right now, and I'm going to record some drums. Now, I will tell you up front, I am no drummer. I am not a drummer. So this is going to be what it's going to be, and then we're going to do some editing with the MIDI later in Cubase to make it just that bit greater. But the main reason that I'm doing it over the electric kit is to give it that feel. Now, a lot of people come to this point as songwriters, for example, and will say, well, you know, why not just program it in? Because we all have the facilities to do that, and essentially when you're playing an E-drum kit like this, that's what you're doing. You're not doing much more than programming it anyway. So why not do that to begin with? Now, the reason for that is, A, it is very time consuming to program in drums and make them sound lifelike. I mean, that's a really difficult thing. And B, I just prefer to have the life in it. I prefer to have, you know, okay, maybe, yeah, I'll hit a ride when I'm not meant to or whatever, but maybe it will work and maybe it'll be worth it. So in that sense, I think you just got to go for it. You know, music is about the life and it's about the energy, and I'm about to sweat a lot for you guys and for myself, of course, and hopefully have a good time with this. So my setup right now is this Alesis Nirto kit, whoopsie, and I've got my laptop set up on the floor. There's a GoPro cam here, so you guys will see all those cool action shots with the GoPro. Hello, GoPro! And that is how we're gonna do this. So we're just gonna go straight in for it and see how we do. That was kind of rubbish, so we're going to redo that, try and get some more volume up in here. Shiza biza. Sorry. Okay, so that was not actually too bad a take. I'm going to check that out later, but I want to do another one and just sort of get a better feel for the song and the way that I want it to work. So I kind of like, you know, chilling on the vibe, hi-hat. I'm trying to do things that a drummer would not typically do. That's actually what I'm trying to do here. Because I'm not a drummer, and I like to think outside the box. And I've found that with working with drummers through the years, there sometimes tends to be a little bit of leniency in the way that they would approach something. Now, that's not to say that they're not good drummers or they're not good musicians or anything like that at all, no. But, you know, as someone who doesn't understand, you know, specifically how everything goes, you know, obviously to a drummer, a normal beat would consist of like, so you got that kick, snare, and the same thing if you go, or even, anything like that. It's sort of based very simply about 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's something I'm trying to avoid to a degree. I'm trying to think musically rather than technically. So let's give this another shot. So, we're getting there now, actually getting to put this together quite nicely, which is really fun. I'm really enjoying this personally, and I don't know if you've noticed, but actually what I'm doing is I'm not deleting takes. So I'm keeping every take that I have, and then I'm just going to chop and change and use the best parts from each one. So at the same time as actually playing and recording this, what I'm doing is I'm experimenting. So you'll notice that every time I do something slightly different, and this time I actually really enjoyed the second verse being with a snare, so that, and then the first verse with the tom. Well, actually the first verse this time I tried it out just with a kick, which was really nice. I quite like that, and I might layer the tom on top of that, but we'll see. And then the third verse with the cowbell, which is currently on my rack tom here. And yeah, so actually I've been really enjoying that. So I'm going to give this one more take through, and hopefully we'll be in a really strong position after this and almost be done with the recording process, which is awesome. This is going so well, and I'm so glad that so many of you are watching it and enjoying it and hopefully learning something from the process. And if anything, that you can do this all at home on a budget. This is not an expensive kit, nothing that I use is expensive or pro line or anything like that, and I will be doing a full sort of gear review and demo very soon to give you all an idea of what you can do on a limited budget. So here we go again. Here I go again on my own. Yep, quite literally on my own. Okay, so it's time to review that and see where we are. Right, so after some careful consideration, I have come to the conclusion that I want to do just like one more take, maybe two, we'll see how this one goes, because I have got most of the parts that I want and I need, and the corrections that I would be looking at are quite minimal at the minute, which is freaking awesome! And that should be what you're aiming for. You should not be aiming to say, oh yeah, I'm rubbish, I can't really play, and I'm just going to do all the corrections in the computer. That's not the way to go about it, in my opinion. My opinion is that you have to have some understanding of what you're approaching, no matter what it is. It could be EDM, it could be grime, it could be rock, it can be metal, it can be whatever it is, and it can be whatever instrument you are using. But without some sort of understanding of what it is you're doing, the whole concept is lost, and it's not worth approaching. So, as much as yes, I am going to do some corrections, but that is only because I am not the best drummer in the world. I am not practiced for years and years, as I mentioned earlier, and this is what I am able to do. So do not be discouraged by not being able to play. You can still do it. You can still take a bit of time to practice every day. Get yourself to that point where you feel comfortable enough to just go for it and give it a go and do those minimal corrections like I'm doing. And if you can play it, even freaking better. You know, get as far as you can with it, basically, before you stick it onto tape or, you know, digital computers as it is nowadays. But do not just jump straight in and think like, oh yeah, I just got a drum kit, I'm just gonna... It's not gonna work. It's gonna sound quite terrible, I assure you of that, and I speak from my own experience. I have tried this before a couple of years ago with a sample pad, and that was my first ever like hitting something with sticks, and it was like bah, 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 bah. And it just sounded awful. It was like, it couldn't get timing right to save my life. It didn't actually sound right, like it just did not make sense. And yeah, so after much time of trying this, this is where I'm at personally, and I hope that this gives you guys all an insight into what it takes to do this kind of thing, where you are playing and recording and writing on every single instrument, because it's a wonderful experience and it's really worth it. I'm serious, like this is one of the funnest things for me to do. I cannot have more fun than create my own song from scratch and then deliver it knowing that I have done every single part of it. And every single part of it belongs to me and is me. I think that the more you can do yourself, the better. Because at the end of the day, you wrote the song, you created this song, and you should respect it in that way. Now there is a lot of other arguments, especially when it comes to mixing and mastering, and I will go into those later when we get into the mixing process for this and the mastering processes, and I will be having people come in specifically to talk about this. But for now, do it all by yourself, DIY! Okay, so here we go. Last couple of takes, and we should be done. Okay, and I think we will be sticking with that. So there you go, ladies and gents. That is it. Recording is pretty much over. There is a slim chance that when I review everything in the next couple of days, that there will be things that need to be redone. Now, those will be included in the video as well. I'm not sure exactly when, how, or what, but it'll probably be the next video that I release. And you will see what it goes through. So never, ever, ever assume that your work is done until you are actually sure that it is done. That you can see it in front of you and say, okay, I am genuinely content with that. I can honestly say within my own heart, not for the reason of wanting to finish, not for the reason of, I gotta get this done, but for the reason that you will be happy with this. You will listen back to this in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, and think to yourself, I did it right. I did what I wanted to do, and I achieved the things that I wanted to achieve. Never let yourself fall short of that, because at the end of the day, the only person that matters in this process is you. You and you alone, because it's your song, and you need to be happy with it first. Until then, you need to keep working. So, until the next time that I shall see you, I bid you goodbye.